When you get hold of the Nintendo Entertainment System, when you master Rob, the video robot, and meet the challenge of Gyrobites, when you shoot the light-sensing Zapper, when you play the system with so many arcade hits, you're playing with power. The Nintendo Entertainment System Deluxe set. Batteries not included, Super Mario Brothers, and other games sold separately.
To help us in our never-ending battle against the evil Decepticons, we create the incredible Dinobots.
Transformers, more than meets the eye. Dinobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons, the Transformers.
The Decepticons are attacking! Dinobots will get them!
The Transformers, sold separately from Hasbro.
Hey!
Huh?
It's the perfect time.
We've stolen the world's supply of new pink lemonade bubbly up.
It tastes like pink lemonade.
It's the new taste everyone's after.
Uh-oh. It is I, Detective Yum Fighter, now to upset Bubble Yum Bubble Gum.
But pink lemonade makes big pink bubbles.
You're all washed up, Papa.
But it's you who's going to wave goodbye, Yum Fighter!
New Pink Lemonade Bubble Yum, the big taste everyone's after.
Pop the hood. The hood.
It's Twisted Metal 4, and Sweet Tooth is large and in charge with all the high-octane attitude you've come to know and love.
Introducing the next generation from Nintendo. New Super Mario World, created especially for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. It's a bit more exciting, a bit more challenging, a bit more graphic, a bit more colorful, a bit more realistic, a bit more levels, a bit more secret, a bit more enemies, a bit more friends, a bit more sound, a bit hotter, a bit cooler, a bit weird, a bit more revolutionary, a bit more Mario, a bit more of what you want. It's 16-bit, and it's yours only if you get new Super Nintendo. Now you're playing with power, superpower.
Ready for some Wolverine in-your-face action in your hands? It's the X-Men handheld game. Cyclops, look out! Apocalypse is above you. Sneak attack by Juggernaut. Get the excitement of the X-Men in your hands.
Hey, get your claws off that!
Nintendo, it's for breakfast now. Nintendo,
It's a cereal!
wow. Nintendo,
Super Mario Jump!
Nintendo,
Peanut fruit flavored crunch!
Nintendo,
Here's Zelda too!
Nintendo,
It's very good news!
Nintendo,
You just can't move! Nintendo cereal system is a super part of this nutritious breakfast.
Nintendo,
Two cereals in one! Wow!
It's everything you love about the arcade game. Cut down to size. Only on the Super NES. With a free game music CD. So who needs a new system?
Now get Nintendo Power 12 times a year. 6 great issues plus 6 free strategy guides on a hot new game. That's twice the power for still $15. Wow, call now. Nintendo Power.
Here we go, kids. Terrence Turtle is my name. Turtle dancing, that's my game. Come on, kids. Everybody do the turtle dance.
Not having a good time? Play the Rugrats video game instead, with characters like Tommy, Chucky, even Angelica. Rugrats Search for Reptar. It's a 3D adventure, and it's only on PlayStation.
PlayStation.
This is Candyland, a place you pretend to visit when you play this game. The cards show you how to follow the path through Candyland. You'll discover the gingerbread plum tree, a rainbow pass, and Gumdrop Mountain. But be careful of the cherry pitfalls, and don't get stuck in Molasses Swamp. You don't have to know how to read or count to have loads of fun in Candyland. Candyland, a game for people 4 to 8 from Milton Bradley.
Site security is a never-ending commitment. Who's looking out for yours? I'm talking about enterprise-grade security built into your site and fully managed for you. Check this out. First up, prevention. The Wix platform is secure by design. Security experts are in the dev process, performing threat modeling, penetration tests, and designing code reviews. And you get a strong encryption for your data in transit and data at rest. E-com sites? Wix is compliant with the highest level of PCI DSS, and it doesn't stop there. The top international privacy and security regulations, they're all in place. You see, it's all about staying ahead of the game with real-time detection. Wix security never sleeps. Never. 24/7, 365.
There's something out there. Something you can't escape. And it's rocketing right toward you. Space Hulk, the GoBot Interceptor.
Convert to Starship Crasher. We're going hunting.
Guardian and Renegade attack ships with star-shattering power.
Renegade Space Hulk in the viewfinder. Prepare stun gun. Guardian! Shift hyperspeed. You can run Psycho, but you can't hide. Fire!
Space Hulk and GoBot each shown separately from Tonka.
I've heard kids talking about Konami video games from the Nintendo Entertainment System like they were real. Come on. I mean, the action in Konami's Russian Attack is awesome. And those dudes in Castlevania are pretty intense. And I'll even admit that the sound in Konami games is jabbing. But realistic? Give me a break.
Konami video games, so real, they'll blow you away.
You don't stop playing because you get old. But you could get old if you stop playing. Game Boy from Nintendo.
Anytime, anywhere, any place, you can enjoy one of TV's most popular game shows. Introducing Tiger's new Electronic Jeopardy! Over 2,000 questions in 30 categories.
A dance between the ground and a stick. What is the limbo?
Play it alone or play it with friends. Electronic Jeopardy! With thousands of new clues and expansion cartridges. Anytime, anywhere, any place.
So the boy fell asleep in the Toys R Us store. And he woke up with toys from the ceiling to the floor. We got the Nintendo action set, including the control deck with double game pack and Zapper light gun for just $99.99 at Toys R Us. And we have all the hottest game cartridges at great everyday low prices.
Love growing up with my Toys R Us kid. Toys R Us. You'll never outgrow us.
It's Turtle's zaniest video bloopers. First, here's Leonardo in his wind-up Jolly Turtle tugboat with paddle wheel and pirate cannon. He's making quite a splash. Next, check out Rocksteady in his pogo copter with pilot's cockpit and powered propeller. No wonder they call them choppers. Finally, there's Raph in his sewer speedboat. Looks like he's converting to hyper-hydrofoil. What's the rush? I thought there do something fishy. Playmates.
Only $2.99.
Okay, let's operate.
Operate.
Where's the dog?
It's Operation the Wacky Doctor's Game where you're the wacky doctor. Batteries not included.
I blew it.
My turn.
Take out a spare ribs for $100.
It takes a steady hand because if you touch the sides...
Here goes the funny bone. Don't get nervous. I did it. That's $200.
Operation, a game from Milton Bradley.
Something coming up the plumbing for Luigi's in a bind. Giant turtles out to get him. Creepy crabs are right behind him. Spider flies, cheaper giants, they're all coming out the pipes.
Mario, where are you?
It's Atari Mario Brothers with Mario from Donkey Kong, his brother Luigi, and lots of crazy creatures. And it's twice the fun when two play at once, because you need all the help you can get.
Mario, where are you?
Mario Brothers, new from Atari.
Hey, kid. Here's my lunch money.
You haven't been flossing. You haven't been flossing.
Get a job.
Escape to a world of color for each and every Game Boy game. New Game Boy Color.
What will the future bring from Nintendo? More hits like Super Mario Brothers. Arcade hits like Kung Fu. Nintendo has the most video game hits. Hogan's Alley.
Recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce that local recordings are now available.
Welcome, everyone. Hope everybody's having a fantastic weekend so far. It is early yet in the weekend. It is only Friday. I hope everybody's got their weekend started. I am looking forward to hanging out with you guys tonight. Yeah, Dr. Thrifty's in the house. Y'all sub to Dr. Thrifty. He said some nice things about the channel. He's still a little green, though. Doesn't really know much of some of the people he was talking about. Said some nice things about JLR. Do a little more homework, dude. And in all fairness, let me explain to Dr. Thrifty what we do here. We basically what we do here is this is kind of sorta a true crime channel. When there are cases that I am passionate about, I will discuss the facts on those cases. When there are no more facts to discuss, I no longer talk about that case until there are updates from reputable sources, not rumors, not speculations, not I don't engage in that. So but what I do, mostly is I call out the channels that jump on the speculations and jump on the rumors and start falsely accusing people of things and do engage in irresponsible speculations that may actually victimize innocent people involved in these cases. And it's something I care very much about. It's something that I've always done, and it's something that I am always going to do. And there are certain people here. I am not in a feud with any of the people that I talk about. I just like to point out how shitty they are, so that people hopefully will become a little bit more educated in who they get their information from, and have a higher standard as to who they get their information from. Not everybody does this they call out some of the same people, but not everybody does it for the same reasons that I do. So, but welcome. Yeah, exactly, JP. We expose the tragedy pimps. So yeah, I got a little upgrade here in the background, and so whatever. So thanks for the compliments in the chat for that. I think that's really nice of you guys. Yeah, we're but for now, channel is the same, content's the same. Things are in the works. Things are changing for the better moving forward here, but one thing at a time. Got the visuals knocked out, but what's next? We will start doing some things a little bit differently, and we'll be making progress. I like to think is that's the plan. So yeah. No, man, listen, Monty did not loan me this jacket, Rat and Ralph. This jacket is 100 times sexier than Monty's jacket. Although Monty's jacket is very sexy. But this is, come on, this one, I mean, this is just way better than Monty. I mean, I got the collar, everything, the zips, I mean, it's just better. It's just better. So what's been going on lately is we went over this. I think I was the first to go over it, which was the footage from the Ashley's Furniture. I am 150% convinced that Molly and Betty showed up there to start shit and basically exploit this poor woman for content. I'm not going to go over that footage again. I don't feel the need to go over that footage again unless it's totally relevant to what I'm going to be doing. Even though it's kind of relevant, I already went over it. I don't feel the need to go over it again. Ray, welcome. So what I'm going to do is we're going to discuss the after effects, the after comments. And I know that this person, I forget her name. She left a comment, and I want to be clear about something. My last live stream, she left a comment explaining, and I should read that. But she left a comment explaining what actually happened, at least before Molly started recording. And I'm going to go ahead and pull that up. So now let me see here. Okay, so I guess her name is fascia. And this is the reason why I took her. I guess I probably shouldn't have. I didn't need to, but I actually took down her comments out of respect for her, because I could see that her real name was being used, and I didn't want her getting harassed. I don't think that she really knows much of how YouTube works. She's going to learn, considering that she's been going on every single channel. From what I understand, she's on somebody's channel right now. But I did want to bring her on at one point. I mean, the invite is still there if she wants to, but I have something special planned for what I'd like to do when she's on here, that I think she's going to love. Something very much as a sign of respect towards her. But me and another creator talked about it, and I think what we have in mind is going to be real fun. And I think some of the other channels have been more or less trying to do the same thing, that have had her on, but not the way that I have planned, and with whom. So I think it'll be a lot more fun here. But I mean, yeah. So she's telling her side of the story on a bunch of other channels. That's great. The invite exists for her to come here too. But if she were to show up here, I'm not going to bring her on right now. But I would definitely want her to contact me, and we can set something up, and that is a little bit more planned. But she left this comment saying, first of all, this is not the whole video. As you can hear, the background change plenty of times. Second, I was not the person who answered the first phone call. I got the message after opening the store. Before I could even return the call, doing my quote-unquote customer service job, LOL, Walter called again, as I'm trying to explain to Walter the process I have to take to proceed his complaint. What's up, Panda? While being rude and cutting me off, he asks, "Are you Ashley?" I said, "No, I'm Fascia, and I can help you." And if you let me explain to you how I can help you, then he says, "No, I want to speak to the person in charge of Ashley, the person who pays the delivery." So I proceeded to give the number and said, "Have a good day." Hours later, two women hung around my desk as I'm checking out a guest, telling the checkout guest about the delivery process. The lady started smirking because they obviously are mad at the delivery team. Now, this is really funny because I'm thinking about the video as she's talking about this, right? I'm totally thinking about the video, and I remember the guy standing there. I remember the guy standing there, and I loved the guy standing there because they're like, "Well, are you guys friends? You guys seem all chummy, right?" And the dude is like, "No, I'm a respectful customer." Just that nice little jab without being too disrespectful, which I thought was pretty cool. I like that guy immediately. After checking out the guest, I proceeded to ask, "How can I help you?" One standing on one side of the counter, and the other is standing on the other. So the one starts to talk and say she was a witness and how the delivery team let her dog out and a bunch of jibber jabber. I stopped listening. I stopped listening to what she had to say because earlier on the phone, Walter said that she/wife couldn't open the door and that he called the delivery guy back, a number I don't have access to, and told the guy to put a code in to unlock the door, and the delivery guys refused. After waiting around for 40 minutes for someone to answer the door, the time frame they had was from 7 to 11, and got there at 10:40. and still waited. While entering the home, none of the rooms were cleared out of the cleared out to receive delivery. Walter wanted the delivery team to wait until he took the furniture down and out of the rooms. Now, common sense would tell you, if you know weeks/days before that you will be receiving furniture, why aren't none of the rooms empty? It's a good point. Delivery team had other furniture to deliver. Anyways, I tried to explain the process instead of just listening, and also got the helpful information so I could help her. She tried to antagonize me and then started to record. As you can see, I started helping another guest because I did all that I could do and say. I can't tell a person something who thinks they know everything, nothing. I swear they tried me and thought they was going to play with me, but they got the right sister here. And then she says, thank you for all the support I've received. I really appreciate everyone, but I hate the fact that I'm posted online. I am a real private person and hate that attention. And by the way, guys, I'm helpful, loving, and great person. I just don't F with me, and I apologize that y'all had to see me like that. Now, you know, I get that she is saying that she's that's why I took it down, because she's saying she's a private person, but she's been awfully active on YouTube. I mean, there's nothing that I can do at this point. I would have very much recommended to her to change her YouTube handle, been very selective as to who she showed up on a live stream with. You know, yeah, because from what I understand now, I didn't listen to it because I just simply refuse to listen to that channel. But I didn't listen to it. Hold on one second. Becky G, thank you so much. I just jumped in and your hat isn't bent down to the bill. You keep us on our I'm trying new things, okay? Trying new things. It's a new hat. And I thought, you know what? I'm not going to bend it. I'm not going to bend this one. So thank you, Becky G. But it might drive me crazy. I'm so used to bending the bills on my hats. But we'll see. Who knows? I might just be patient enough to leave this like this. Now, the channel that she was on, I just refused to listen to. The majority of people that end up on that channel just annoy me. Like it is definitely a trauma channel, because what's funny is, for the most part, at least as of late, that channel, when they talk about cases, we tend to agree on fundamental things. We tend to target a lot of the same people when it comes to discussing what not to do when covering crime cases. But the problem is I just can't forget. I can't forget. And that channel to me has just done just awful, disgusting shit. And the people on the panel have, and it's gross. And great that they're making good on it now. But for me, it's just, and I think I'm just scarred with like the whole sound of certain voices. I just, yeah, I can't, like, it's just, it sounds like the dude from Sling Blade fucking separated, and then, you know, in a bunch of different beings, and then they had like all the Sling Blade clones had a fucking glass swallowing contest, and I just can't. I can't do it. And you know, and it was just all about the drama for them to have this woman on there. And she's not going to know any better. You know what I mean? Because what I'm thinking of, I'm thinking of what, at least what was on my mind initially, was to protect her privacy and simply discuss and educate her on the type of person or the type of people that she's dealing with, and have somebody, a special guest, join me for that, and just go through just footage and pictures and just all kinds of different things and just have a good time. uh and but the idea was just to keep her anonymous for the most part, and basically it in a nutshell and in an entertaining fashion, provide her with a stream that will that will uh allow her to have evidence if she needs evidence for character, for if she ends up in a courtroom for whatever reason, for whatever happened. Savage, thank you so much. Can you unblock Savage Does True Crime? I was blocked during the SL stuff, and you have grown on me, and I agree with all you're doing now. Well, that's the thing, unfortunately, Savage, and I do appreciate the super chat. Thank you. And this is not anything to do with you or your opinions on the SL thing from back in the day. It does nothing to do with that. But I have stated many times that I am no longer going back into my hidden list. It is unbelievably tedious, and if you got blocked from this channel, if you got hidden for this channel, I'm sure it was for a sound reason. So when I do hide people, it's final, because I'm not going through the tediousness of that hidden list for every single person who changes their mind about the channel. And I'm grateful that you're here, and you're welcome here. If you have a channel that you're using, if you have an avatar and a handle that you're using, an account that you're using, and it's not blocked, and you don't do anything to get yourself blocked, you're welcome here. Everyone is. But yeah, it takes quite a bit for me to yeah, I could see you just fine. Of course you can chat under this name. I don't even care if you chat under the other name. All I'm saying is that I no longer, I just won't, for every single person that comes to me and says, hey, from back in the SL days, I was blocked, but I dig the channel now, and you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that to minimize. I think it's great that you're here, and I'm really grateful that you like the channel now. It's just that it's just too many people. It's too long of a list to sit there and go through, and it's just a pain. So I don't go through that hidden list and unblock people. People can start new accounts and then just act accordingly in the chat from now on, if you like the channel. And Hackub is right. Right. It's too tedious. I'm not doing it. I'm simply not doing it. It's a lot easier for you to start a new account than it is for me to go through that and unblock people who acted a fool in my chat at one point. Well, Daphne, I'm sorry. Things are changing. I'm trying new things. Okay. Oh yeah. Don't worry, guys. I was just going over a couple things, getting a couple things out of the way. But yes, the invite is still open for Fascia. She's still, we could still do that thing. It'll be fun. But yeah, I she can't, I mean, as far as being private, well, showing up on everybody's channel isn't really gonna make you. There she is. Hello, got notified about your live. I want to thank you, but I feel like my identity was already out there, but I really appreciate the respect. Okay, yeah. If you go to my channel, if you click on my channel, Fascia, you can email me. You go to the About Me section. My email is there, and you can email me. I'd really like to set something up with you. It's not going to be like anything that you've done yet. I have something really, really, really special prepared to have you on, as well as to the idea is basically just I want to formally apologize for your exposure to our community. It's very, very it's really embarrassing when people like that treat someone who is not familiar with our community and then exploits that person for content. The least you could do, the least we could do, at least somebody in the community, is make you feel very, very welcome and try to make it as enjoyable for you as you possibly can. And I have something very special lined up for that. So please contact me, please email me. You will get a response, and we'll set something up.
Job, and now she's going to different channels gathering information and cast out. Of course she is. Of course she is. She's ghetto. She's the racist ghetto bitch.
Okay.
Clip that.
How? Okay. Wait.
Put my okay symbol.
How are you going? Now, this is Hartley. I mean, you can recognize, if you're familiar with this community and clip channels, you can recognize Hartley. She's one of the better clip channels, one of my favorites for sure. She has a little anime thing going on here. But this is Betty basically saying that she's ghetto while calling her racist. Yeah, this is classic Betty. Fascia, just so you know, I want you to know, if you're still in chat here, I want you to know that she has been a very reliable point of content for a few of us creators, just because she always does shit like this. We haven't even scratched the surface of Betty. At least you haven't. Jet Harper, thank you so much. Glare and Toast are the people who are the best of the best for sound advice without exploiting. Crew 2, facts and integrity above all. Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Jet Harper. Yeah, let's continue this. And now I haven't listened to this whole thing. You guys know that I like to do reactions, so
Symbol next to it, because it's still okay to say okay. Look at that. That's what they do. They went through, and I did a whole campaign through multiple states when they told me that it's now that a symbol I have been using since I was a little kid, which, mind you, is still part of the sign language, and our children still do. Like, I was out at a playground and
now what she's doing there is very, very funny. So she's defending her her using the sign thing. So this is all just a ruse to justify her racism and calling someone else racist, which is absolutely ridiculous, because apparently they accused both Molly and Betty accused Fascia of being racist because she called them a Karen. Well, I've been calling them Karens. A lot of people have been calling them Karens. You have no idea the level of Karen that you encountered. You don't even know. That's what I have planned special is we're going to go through that stuff. Not tonight. Tonight, we're just going to go through the recent stuff. But Fascia, if you're interested, we'll have a little party up here and and it's just our way of apologizing on behalf of the community for the embarrassment that you got, that you were subjected to due to these idiots. Let's see. Thank you so much. Literally Davis fam. BHB's okay is all over Google. She's awfully excited to let everybody know that she's A-okay. That is totally the white power symbol that you use with your fingers. She said it sitting at a table at a Trump rally. She threw it up just as somebody sitting at the table next to her said white power out loud. That fucking happened. We watched the video of it 100 times. We're going to watch it again. Not now, but we will. I promise.
And a kid, you know, loser, whatever. Okay. You know, and it's like, that's the best you got is me holding up a symbol. Well, you just got another picture of that. Does it make me racist? No.
No, all of the racist things that you're saying that you don't even realize are racist. That's what makes you a racist, is the fact that you don't even realize that the hate from you comes so naturally that you don't even realize that the things that you're saying are racist. And you do it all the fucking time. Like, Betty, you're like the worst. We've heard you. We heard somebody call you on the phone, and you took the phone call on a live, put it on speakerphone, and this person just started spouting out the N-word, and you were laughing and went, oh, whoops. Hey, I'm live right now. Ha ha ha. Like, Betty, seriously? You don't get to, okay, listen, you don't get to call anybody racist, like ever. You have no right to ever call anyone racist, ever. Okay? Now, what's really funny here is, on top of that fact that you're just not allowed to do that, you're doing it anyway, and you're sitting here trying to explain to everyone how you're not a racist, which is really, really telling.
I treat everybody equally. You piss me off, trust me, I'll step on your toes. I don't care what color you are. You're nice to me, I'll be the nicest person to you. Guess what? I don't care what color you are. When people call my phone, I'll say, hey, are you white or black? Right? That chick has a problem with me because of my skin. I didn't have a problem with her because of her skin.
No.
That's a big difference. So
She had a problem with you because you walked in there treating her like shit. You walked in this place treating her like absolute shit that was stuck under your shoe. Like, we saw the footage of it. She was begging you to leave. She was screaming at you, can you please leave? Like, at that point, it's not a question of customer. It's not a question of patron and employee. It's not that has gone beyond that. You've managed to disrespect this person simply trying to get through her day at work. You managed to antagonize her. You managed to insult her. And at that point, instead of retaliating, she begged you to leave her alone and stop harassing her. And you continued and continued and continued. Now, see, here's the thing. This is the real problem with that, is places like Ashley's Furniture, which is a very large company, places like that, any place that has franchises, anything of that nature, there's a corporate mentality that you can never escape from. And all of these corporate places have this mentality. Kelsey, welcome. Thank you so much. And that mentality is the customer's always right. We're going to do anything we can to make it right. Whatever happened between us, we're going to take responsibility, and we're going to be the ones to make it right for you. Shay B, thank you so much. Much love and much respect to Fascia. Yes, I agree. So that's always going to be that mentality, you know? So no matter what, if there's a manager, right? An assistant manager, and then the general manager takes over, and then the general manager has that that negative interaction with that customer, well, then what's going to happen is that customer's probably going to contact corporate, and then corporate's going to go, how can we make it right? Without ever having to meet the person or deal with the person face to face. Just anything that I can do to make it right, I'm going to make it right. And what's going to end up happening when you have these people who are saying, we're going to get her fired, we're going to get her fired, and then she ends up getting suspended, even though she was not in the wrong. Because from a corporate standpoint, right, then yes, she was in the wrong. She should have simply said, yes, okay, and then sounded like a fucking recording that when you get somebody who, is basically reading a script, and that's just not the type of person that she was. She was trying to help them. And then it got to a point to where they wanted something that was beyond what she was capable and within her power to give them. And that was not acceptable. But they didn't really care about it at that point. See, Betty didn't care about it at all. MGL only cared about it to a certain degree. But what they really cared about was simply using and exploiting Fascia for content. And that was it.
Really don't care. You've been doing it for over a year.
And I want to say they
what?
absolutely had that in mind before they left to go down there. I am 150% convinced of that. I believe with all of my heart, balls to bone, that before MGL and BHB walked out of MGL's house, they had agreed, let's go down there and let's film her. Let's go down there and give her a hard time. Guaranteed. They conspired to go down there and do exactly what they did.
Guess what? My channel's still growing. So that's something you're going to have to deal with. Not me. You can paint me in any kind of picture and any kind of light you want. I don't do that to you because you're not worth my time. Clearly, I'm worth yours. Big difference. I will never buy from Ashley.
Now, this is what she does. This is what's really funny, because this is what she does. She does this all the time. Like, she never actually really talks about cases. She never shares any facts. She'll spew on and on for about 5 minutes of a 2-hour live of, there's this and blah, blah, blah. And then she'll talk like she knows the law when she doesn't know the law. She talks about the law like somebody who is the worst person to talk about the law. Like, I don't know anybody on YouTube who knows less about the law and talks about it. And that's her. And she's always wrong. She's just always wrong. So, and then after that 5 minutes, she'll do this and she'll just spew on and on and on about bullshit and say that on the other side of her mouth that it's a drama-free channel. It's fucking hilarious.
Suspended? They need to have a cease and desist sent to them. Because I'm telling you, she needs to be in the back freaking factory working. She doesn't need to be in the public. Does anybody really, if by a show of one, does anybody really have a problem with me being nice to the lady?
You weren't nice to her, though.
I mean, that could have went, when
No,
she
you
started
weren't.
talking to me like that, I could have just treated her the way she was treating me. And I
Wow.
chose to be above that.
Wow.
So put a 1 in the chat if you thought that Marissa and I handled that situation as completely diplomatic as we could in the face of a
So
deranged
desperate
black
for
woman
validation.
that hates white people. So we are 100% backing this young lady. All strategy, jailhouse, paralegal education you claim won't help you.
Oh, man, that made her mad.
Well, do you know where she needs to sue me? You might want to buy her a plane ticket because she needs to come here to Florida to sue me. But you idiots don't know that. And I am so 100% backing this young lady for acting like a complete deranged lunatic. You are an idiot. You deserve to be with a complete deranged
Now, hold on. Let me just end.
lunatic. And guess what? I'll be waiting with bated breath for that lawsuit that's supposed to be coming my way. And
Wow. Okay. So yeah. She that actually kind of like, I guess for lack of a better term, triggered me. Like there's somebody that has always been really toxic in my life, you know? And that happened a lot. What she just did, you know? Somebody says something negative about them and makes sense, like, and digs deep, you know what I mean? Then they just try to like, that you could tell that they're angry, and there's the hatred and anger that's driving their fake laugh that they belt out. And that fake laugh is so cringy, you know, it's the cringiest shit in the world, you know? Right. I mean, y'all in the chat get it. Y'all in the chat get it. Like, as soon as you hear that shit, it's really, really cringy, because you can feel the hatred and the anger that just somebody who just put a mirror in front of their face, they couldn't handle it. And then they just like bust out laughing, like this fake laugh with aggression. And you're just like, oh my God, you know? Like, if you're a kid, you'll freeze. You know what I mean? Y'all know. Like, if you're a kid and then somebody does some shit, like you freeze, like you feel that fucking super negative anger energy, you know, like that's like kids feel that shit and it scares the fuck out of you. You know what I mean? Let's look at, I'm going to watch this. This is a channel called Cherry Picked Clips. And I guess they clipped like a summary of this, but I haven't watched it yet. We're going to watch it.
You can't just think that you're going to talk any type of way and expect me to help. Gotcha. But in all fairness, I've been respectful to you, and you've already started correcting me. I've been nice. I was trying to explain to you guys earlier on the phone that I would have.
And you see how she's trying to hide the fact that she's filming?
With the delivery team, and whoever was on the phone kept yelling over me. I don't deal with that. I don't care about the job for real. That's great. You took a job to call. So you don't care about the job. Is this a public school or is this a private school?
While you're not being like blatantly disrespectful, I'm positive she can sense your condescension, Betty.
And one of the things my husband said was, all they had to do was just bring the other bed in, and I would have put it together myself. He goes, well, that's all they had to do. He goes, Marissa, after you pulled out and left, they went out into the street, and then they took off, and Violet was out there with them.
What?
I'm not mad at this girl. I'm not mad at Bullhorn. No one could say that Bullhorn Betty caused that, but Bullhorn Betty saw and heard everything.
She stirred it up.
Bullhorn Betty saw more than I did. That's why she was saying it.
Here's
no
the
one
thing
went there
about
to get a
that,
YouTube
though.
video.
All right, let me make this point, because the fact that Bullhorn Betty even like interjected in the first place was uncalled for. The whole goddamn thing was none of her fucking business. There was no reason for her to intervene. There was no reason for her to step in. That's right. That's like Karen red flag 1. You know what I mean? A Karen just has to fucking, you know, interject. They just have to fucking do that. You know what I mean?
No one went there to, hey, let's heat somebody up. That's not how you do it. That's not how it goes.
Find out. Okay, I'll be happy to. Would you like the phone? Yes, I would. As a matter of fact. Are you recording? Absolutely. 301 7 and thank you for showing me that out here. Well, I'm recording every time I walk in here, so. I can't see your order.
No one could say that Bullhorn Betty caused that. No one could say that Bullhorn Betty caused that.
He's working. You can tag me if you want. We're not being rude. Customer service. You're trying to do customer service, and you expect somebody to help you when you're being rude. So you can call customer service or corporate or whoever.
See, and I always point this out. What's really funny is this is just totally in line with any other Karen video that I ever did. There were times back in the day I would do Karen videos. I would just I would do live streams just to fucking hang out with my chat. I had nothing to discuss. And then I was like, let's pull up some Karen videos. And this is no different than any of those Karen videos. And one of those things that was consistent with all these Karen videos, like 80% of the time, the person that's filming is the Karen, right? And that Karen, right? That Karen, you know is a Karen because they're all of a sudden being nice. They're the ones being calm and rational because they're the ones who decided to start filming. You have no idea what happened before the camera got clicked on. No idea. Rachel Lee, thank you so much. You say, you make me happy. Well, thank you. That makes me happy. Appreciate that. Yeah, you don't know what the fuck happened before that. And I know these two. You know what I'm saying? Like we talk about these people all the time and their fucking behavior. You know what I mean? So I have no doubt in my mind already because I know these two motherfuckers. I have no doubt in my mind already that they were the aggressors. And you know what makes them the aggressors automatically is these two motherfuckers don't have jobs, but this lady does. And they're giving her shit at her job. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give nobody shit, man. Like, I don't, dude. Like, I can't. You know, like, that's just, man, if you believe in karma, that's for sure bad karma. Fucking with somebody in their place of work, like, if it's a problem that is just like, you know what, seriously, you know what I mean? It's not that serious. Something that can be fixed. It's really an easy fix. Like whatever the fuck was going on. Because apparently she's bitching, Molly's bitching that they left their tools there. They're not just going to leave their tools behind. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not going to just leave their tools behind. They pay money for those tools. They need those tools. You know? Like it's so crazy. It's so crazy that they're acting like nobody's trying to help them. Well, it's like maybe we can't give you what you want right this second, you know? But, you know, I can't do anything for you, so you can move on. And she tried to give her the phone number like 3 times. And a decent person, I pointed this out when we were going over the video in the first place, is a decent person would have just been like, oh shit, okay. You gave me the number and I was recording. Let me just go back. Let me just go back and look at the recording. And then I'll call that number. I'll call that number. But they loved and they fed off the fact that they were being calm and they were gaslighting this lady and that she was the one losing her temper. And they were feeding off that. And that's why they were filming, because they were trying to elicit this response from her. And what they were really trying to do was elicit a violent response from her so that they can call themselves victim and use that shit for content for the next God knows how many months. That's what they were trying to do. They wanted Miss Fascia to hit one of them, to get physical with one of them, so that they could file a lawsuit with Ashley Furniture and that the whole fiasco moving forward will be content for them on YouTube. That is what they were seeking to do. And it's painfully obvious.
I would for customer service for you, but you can do it yourself. Thank you. Have a good day.
Attempt number 2 of asking them to leave.
Hey, that's the homeowner. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, and look how you talk to people. Yeah, now.
Right, now.
Hi. Okay, can you leave?
Attempt number 3 of asking them to leave.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Attempt number 4 of asking them to leave.
This next part, really helpful, Betty.
Go forward. No. I could call the cops on you for harassing me. You're sitting here recording
now,
about some goddamn.
And this is the good thing, because right now, Fascia just has a community now, you know, like, yes, this is okay. As somebody who's worked in management and customer service a lot in my life, okay? And let me tell you something. It fucking sucks. It absolutely sucks. If I never have to do it again, I won't. You know, I will do it if I have to. I know how to do it. I'm good at it, but I hate it. I fucking hate it. And I only feel for people that are in her position because I've done it my whole life. Lisa Maxwell, thank you for the super sticker. I've done it my whole life. And blessed are the people who stomach that kind of shit every day. And trust me, they do. And yeah, and a lot of you have been there. Most of you have been there, you know? Even if you have successful careers now, like maybe through college, you had to do that shit. I mean, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of patience, you know? And when you're dealing with people like those two, because this is the thing, I don't have to even see footage of what took place prior to that interaction that was being filmed. I don't have to see it because I know these two and I know what they're like. I know exactly how they think. We have been covering them for content for months and months and months and months. We know what their agenda is, right? So seeing her, this is just somebody at work trying to get through her day, but at the same time having enough personal self-respect to not put up with the bullshit. Like she knows she's being fucked with. And at that point, a switch goes in your head, man. And it's happened to me, dude. I'm telling you, there's a video, I think it's titled Know Your Worth. If you scroll back on my shit, I made this live stream the day that I fucking quit a job that I loved, by the way, a job that I loved. And I was told over and over and over again that I was up for a management position or a sales associate position to get promoted. I was willing to start from the bottom, and I did start from the bottom, and I excelled at my performance. And I loved working there. I got along with everybody that I worked with. But it got to a point where we were understaffed, and I was the only one that was reliable showing up for shifts. And then I was just not being appreciated for any of it. And I was really, really good with everyone. You know, I knew everybody on a first name basis. It was a fitness club, not just a gym, a fitness club, meaning these are people that came in every day consistently under contract. And there's so much, it was such a huge facility that there was enough to do there to where people would want to spend most of their time, most of their free time. So it was fun, you know. I mean, they had a rock climbing wall, everything. And I adored working there, and I adored the people that I worked with, and I adored the members. But I was the only one running the whole floor, and some little fucking 16-year-old shit like wants me to make him a smoothie, and he throws the money at me. And I'm fuming because I'm like, I got to work this whole fucking shift by myself again. And there's a management position open and a sales position open. And I want at least some sort of guarantee that I'm up for that, you know? And this kid throws his money at me, and that was it, dude. That was it. And then me and my GM got into it, and then I just grabbed my shit, clocked out, and walked out. Never looked back. Now, I joined that gym later on. And I kept going there because I loved the people. I got into it with my GM, but I had such a rapport with everyone that there were no hard feelings when I came back to work out there, you know. But I totally understand especially now, the way things are, most places are understaffed. I don't know what Fascia's what her workplace environment is like. I don't know if she's understaffed. I don't know. I would imagine if they are understaffed, she's probably one of the more reliable people and probably having to put up with a lot of bullshit and probably is thinking every single second about quitting, you know, and because she's probably underappreciated, and that's how it just is sometimes, and it sucks. But when that's going on and somebody comes in and treats you the way that they treated her, it becomes a question of self-respect. And then you just end up saying, you know what? No, no, I'm not the fucking one today. You know what I mean? Don't. I mean, the most professional people in the world are only so patient. You know what I mean? It's just the way that is. It's just the way that is.
Oh, no, they don't. I was just waiting so I could ask a question, but he come in front of me. Because you're done. Goodbye. No, I had another question. Well, I'm not going to answer. You're not going to answer? I have to help you. You can call corporate customer service.
Right.
Okay. So rude. I can't stand when y'all come in here and act like I said very little.
Molly wearing a clothespin on her nose? Why does she sound like that?
I've said very little. Leave.
Attempt number 7 of asking them to leave.
She's asking you nice. I've been nice to y'all all day on the phone. Can you leave?
Attempt number 8 of asking them to leave.
Yeah, like I've already.
Oh my God! For the love of Christ!
Like her nice has run out. She's also had to deal with Molly's husband, who's a condescending prick. You know, so she had to deal with that guy, and then deal with her, and then deal with Betty. No, dude, there's nobody. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, I wish that an attorney, I hope that an attorney at some point, like if this turns into a legal thing, an attorney gets to show the evidence, all of this shit. What I'm hoping to do is wrap it up in a nice bow and just have a good time and showing her this stuff. But yeah, I just hope that some attorney at some point gets to show a judge and go, dude, look at this. This is the kind of person that this is. You know, this is what they do. This is what she calls a living. She calls this a living. What she's doing to Fascia is what she considers to be a living. No judge is going to respect that. There's no judge on the planet that's going to be like, hey, well, you know, no. That judge is going to be like, well, what do you mean? Yeah, no, she's a professional Karen. Here's the evidence. I would love that. That would make me so fucking happy. Like if that just became a public court thing and the records became, you know, public record where I could just read the transcripts and just watch a judge's just follow a judge's reaction to what these people have done and what they consider work and what they actually demand respect for is amazing to me. I don't like I don't see a judge being like, well, you know, it's an honest day's work. I don't see anybody going through the difficulty of going to college, you know, much less fucking law school, being a lawyer, and then working your way up to being a judge. I just don't see it. I don't see a judge having any respect for anything that these people do. Like, how is it a crime? How is Fascia the bad guy for standing up for herself? How?
Can you leave?
Attempt number 9 of asking them to leave.
I can in a second. Thank you. Goodbye.
Well, yeah, like why not just go? I can in a second. When I'm ready to go, I'll go. That kind of bullshit.
Oh, so you know each other?
No, I don't, but I'm a respectful customer.
I love that guy.
I got my information. I don't want it all.
So you know each other.
I'm
No,
a
I
paying
don't. I'm just
customer as
a
well.
respectful customer.
Not at all. If you want, not at all.
Attempt number 10 of asking them to leave.
I can't leave. All right, goodbye. I call the cops on you. Goodbye. Come on, leave sitting here recording all up in my face. I can really say something. You're not supposed to be recording me. Now, can you leave?
You're asking me to leave.
Attempt number 11 of asking them to leave.
Please do. I wanted to know. I don't have to answer your question. What do you mean you don't have to?
Number
Knows how her
14.
coworker is, not you.
Karen, what's going on?
Did she really just ask what's going on? That's an act, right? Because if it's not, are you okay? Is she okay? Is it okay?
Wait, he went in front of you because you're done. No, I'm not.
You're done. Goodbye.
No, I wanted.
Okay, so clearly she was being petty by like pointing out the guy cutting in front of her, which I think he probably wants this over just as much as the lady does. But
She claims she wanted to know how to get a hold of the delivery service because they're third-party contracted. If that were true, she could have just said, "Can I just know how to?" But the girl had already told her to contact corporate about that because they don't handle that whatsoever. So I feel like this is just hoping something pops off, which it already has. I'd have left like a half hour ago. Or actually, I never would have ended up in this position in the first place, regardless of how
right.
long it was taking our furniture.
Right.
and
I would have
whatnot.
never even
The
been.
number. I asked. I didn't telling you the number. No, I want the number to the delivery service. That's all I asked. You said that you can't help me because you're not connected to the
So you
delivery.
just answered your
No,
question.
husband.
She can't help you because she's not connected to the delivery to call corporate.
How can I get in touch with the delivery service? Okay. Thank you for your help. You were very kind. Oh my God. Wow. She said she had your job.
Look at Betty's like hands on hips, smiles on lips, like strolling out, so proud.
You just threatened me.
Just stay
I
walk
like
of shame
this
with that
channel,
hoodie
man.
on.
What's the name of this channel again? Hold on.
No.
Hold on. I gotta see. It's not my cherry. It's cherry picked clips is what it's called.
I wanted to ask you if I could have the number to the delivery service.
Betty, if you were her friend, wouldn't you be saying, "Hey, girl, let's get out of here. This ain't a good look."
Oh my God.
But nope.
Right. Yeah. A good friend would have done that.
And I get called a Karen? Oh.
Yeah. Dude, you're
Listen
like.
to this next part of what she says about Ashley Furniture, what Betty says.
See, there's the problem is that they're thinking that because they're not raising their voices, that they're not the aggressors. But they are the aggressors via gaslighting. They're absolutely the aggressors. They're antagonizers. And they were just taking advantage of the fact that Fascia just wasn't having it. You know, like it's enough. You know, I'm done. I've exceeded what my pay rate allows me to to have a threshold for as far as being nice to customers, as far as the abuse that I'm going to take and endure. Laura Girl, member for 12 months. I don't know why it's not showing up in my stream. I can't highlight it, but I see it in the chat. Laura Girl, thank you. Member for 12 months. That's awesome. Karen D and Karen Dumb, exactly. Yeah, they're ridiculous. So they're trying to, yeah, they think that people are stupid, and because they're recording, whoever we show this to is going to think, okay, well, you see her, she's the aggressor because she's yelling. No, we could see right through that. Like, you don't think that a judge is going to be able to see that? You don't think that a cop isn't going to be able to see that and say that you're absolutely the aggressors? She asked you to leave. It's private property. She's in charge of the place, and she asked you to leave, what, at least 14 times? And you wouldn't. So how am I not to sit here and think that you're not the aggressors? If you didn't want any trouble, why didn't you just leave? You could have simply left and then called the customer service hotline that you could have Googled, and that would have been it.
My husband. Wow. I get called to Karen?
And holding her back, that was so dramatic. I mean, think about it. Was she really going to beat me down? Dude, not for nothing.
Right or
But that
wrong,
would have
she
been
looked pretty
the
damn
greatest fuck up. Dude,
serious.
that was my shot. That was my viral shot. I would have had a million hits. White lady gets a beat down.
See, that's what they were hoping.
That's just a major beat down by an Ashley Furniture employee. I'm like, ah! I just wanted my ottoman. Why did this have to happen? And I wasn't even the Karen in this situation. She flipped out. So, a D-list YouTuber, protester assaulted Ashley Furniture. Of all places, Ashley Furniture. Why did this have to happen?
I mean,
exactly. You had one job, but you had one job. You fuck.
she's not making any sense at all. And she sounds like a child, you know?
I didn't know they were like this.
Yeah, I wonder where Betty shops for her furniture. Ashley Furniture has nice stuff.
The lady ended up going on Queen Bee's panel.
One creator, not even worth mentioning in my opinion,
claimed reaching out to Ashley Furniture or to the employee was going real life, but somehow posting the video wasn't.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that channel either, man.
So
I'm just not.
So I went across and got me a caramel frappe. So on my way back, I got a message from one of the. So you seen the other girl in the video who escorted her out. Did you see that part?
Yep. Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, she was trying to be nice and trying to. She's like, "Come on, no, that's fine. Like, I'll handle it. I'll help you. I'll handle it."
So she's the one who actually answered the first phone call. Whoever called, I don't know if it was. I don't know who it was. So I got a message when I came back that there was they were very upset. So I guess the delivery team left their house. So I'm like, why did the
Becky
delivery
G,
team
thank
leave their
you.
house?
Yes, I know.
So I'm trying to read the notes, because I can't access the delivery team. They're a third party. We are franchise. We're not actually home store like on the internet. We are franchise. So
Right, and I heard you telling that. Like, I was going to try to call, but I mean, you can call yourself at this point because you know what I'm saying. We're not with them. I heard you telling her that, like, trying to explain it to her.
So on the notes on the invoice.
But even still, what ends up
didn't open up the door,
happening
so,
is
okay, their time frame.
you call the corporate office because that's just part of the deal. Like when you purchase a franchise of Ashley Furniture, any other company, when you purchase a franchise, well, then you have to you have to be, you're subject to inspections. You have to be on point with if you're going to use their name in order to sell your product, you have to live up to their brand name. They have a brand name and they have standards for their brand. So they have to make sure that every franchisee is living up to that brand name. And so even still, you would have to call, if you called corporate, then that corporate office will contact that franchisee will contact that district manager. If not that district manager, then directly to the general manager of the location. And that's normally what ends up happening. That's probably what ended up happening. That's probably why Fascia got suspended. I'm glad that she wasn't fired. But the thing is that there's this whole, because it was these two jackasses, this is a blessing in disguise to a certain degree. There's two sides to this coin, Fascia, is the fact that this happened to you is a bad thing, absolutely, and not cool. But the fact that it happened to you by those two is actually a good thing, because there are so many people with large platforms such as mine, so many creators with large platforms, or at least semi-large platforms, who know these two very well. And I am more than willing to provide any evidence and any help that I can, any cooperation that I can, in order to getting you justice. If anything wrong happens to you in this entire situation, if you get wrongfully fired, whatever, I am going to be happy to go to bat for you. And I know others that will too. So just so you know. Oh, wait, I just hid somebody. I don't know who I hid. I hid somebody by accident. Hold on. Oh, shit. Wait. Tuxie, hold on. There we go. Okay, I fixed it. Sorry, Tuxie. I accidentally hid you. But yes, we absolutely have your back here. I mean, they're the ones who filmed it. You know what I mean? They're the ones who filmed it. And as far as character goes, like I would imagine that if you end up in some sort of legal thing, it's going to be helpful to be able to speak on their character. And I'm happy to help with that in any way that I can. And I know others that are too. But make sure you get in contact with me, because I would love to do a live stream with you and have you up here, as well as our special guest too. And we're gonna have a blast. I promise. Like I said, try and think of it as an apology on behalf of the community. It's embarrassing when members of the community act the way that they do. So there are those of us who don't want you to take that with you. You know, it can be fun too, and we're gonna make it up to you. Now let's just get into, hold on. Let's just get into because I didn't even really watch this. I haven't reviewed this one yet. Bro, mira esa cara, dude. Que cara mal. Dude.
Hello, guys. We're gonna wait for a few more people to get in, and then we'll start chatting. Can you guys hear me okay? And they left the door open. Violet's out in the middle of the road.
Bro.
I just happened to hear all this commotion, and I walk out. I just ended my live. I walk out, and I'm seeing Marissa driving down the road, and I'm seeing this moving company loading stuff up into the moving truck, and I'm like, okay. Like, I know they have multiple houses and stuff, so I'm just thinking that they're moving furniture around, taking something from this house over to the other house. I mean, I'm none the wiser. So I go back into my room, and next thing I know, I'm sitting there, and Adrian is like going off on the. I mean, he was, you know, I shouldn't say going off, but he was upset that they just walked out in the middle of February, left his door wide open, and his dog's just out in the road. Like, I would have came unglued. Can you imagine if something happened to Violet? Like, Marissa would probably be in jail for murder. I mean, seriously. Like, I wouldn't worry. If anything happened to Violet, I wouldn't worry about Adrian. I'd be more scared of Marissa. That woman was unhinged. She absolutely was unhinged. Thank God we recorded. Everybody always says stuff, you know, about us recording everything, but we record everything for our protection as well as theirs, right? And this is one thing that I'm glad we were recording.
That's not what you were recording for, though.
My husband and I went into Ashley, and the
You were
salesman
recording to be
we
an
were talking
asshole.
to literally walked away from us and didn't come back. We went to rooms to go down. Like, I'm not really a fan of these box furniture stores because they got crap employee. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't paint a broad brush like that. But like this lady, like, she clearly didn't care about her job. She clearly said she didn't care about her GD job. So it's like, you know, this is the kind of workforce that we're.
I just can't even imagine, dude. Like, fascia, like I'm sitting here just thinking about, like, I can't imagine. Like, I'm just at a day at work, you know, and then I'm dealing with that. Like, I've had those days, but I've never dealt with anybody like that, you know. Like, there's nobody more Karen than this idiot that's on the screen right now. There's nobody that's more Karen than her.
We're getting. What do you do? People don't have the grit like we do. Us old folks, man, we take a licking and keep on ticking. These younger folks, they got to have self-care and shit like that. Excuse my language. Like, I don't understand that. I would think you're more stressed when you have 10,000 pounds of paperwork more because you decided to take 2 days off work.
What paperwork?
They sort of penned Alex there today with the change of clothing. Well, you knew he was going to, and Miss Robin told me last night that they almost opened the door. Apparently the defense kind of screwed up a little bit because a lot of this stuff was out of the they can't bring it in unless they open. It's like, opening Pandora's box, so to speak. So there's stuff that they can't enter into evidence unless the defense says something. And it sounds to me like that they made a mistake yesterday or maybe the day before and kind of opened.
Oh shit, I was muted. Sorry about that. The rumor is that Adrian and Walter, Walter moved out. I mean, I don't know how true that is or what, but that's supposedly what's been going on as far as the furniture of the house moving. But I don't know. Like,
open that box to the motive and the financial issues, because those financial crimes can't come into play in his criminal case because they can poison the jury pool. So if the
I love
defense accidentally brings that in.
I love how she talks about poisoning a jury pool when her content is her showing up to locations of crimes where they take place and then going around knocking on people's doors and asking random people shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's one less person in a small town. It's usually a very rural area. And that's one less person every time she talks to them that is no longer eligible to be a juror in that case. Like, she doesn't put this shit together. It's unbelievable.
It's done. They now can open that up and start discussing that financial aspect of it, financial motives. So I was not watching any of the Alex Murdaugh case yesterday or the day before because we've been working. We were going to the Poconos. We were going over to Morgan Dobbs' house, to cover that case and stuff like that. So I didn't have an opportunity.
It's not work.
So I've got 16 hours plus of court review.
This is not work
on that. But from what Miss Robin says is that it sounds like they opened that box. And that's not good. So, but it doesn't matter. I mean, to me, he's guilty of sin. So, I mean, he's innocent until proven guilty, but I don't know. There's a lot of death around that man. That's all I got to say. That's no coincidence. I mean, you got the guy that's, the kid that's dating your son, and it's in the middle of the road in 2015, you got your housekeeper that fell down your own flight of stairs and apparently he had money on her. And then his wife and son, sorry, that's too much. Never mind the swindling of the $8 million from his clients.
I mean, yeah, he's probably guilty.
The lady should not be working anytime.
I mean, when you're right,
that's
you're
what
right.
I said she needs to be at like Burger King, but she doesn't even need to be at the counter. She needs to be at the one in the very back. Like you don't. She just had an ego about her. Like I said, we've all had customer service jobs. We've all been yelled
and it
at.
comes back
first
to
of
that.
all, we weren't yelling at her.
She goes to.
I was talking to her like I was having a conversation with.
She goes to fucking like true crime, but she just has to fucking talk about, whatever she thinks makes her Barney badass.
Best friend. I'm like, look, this is kind of what happened, and she's just like she started rolling her eyes and putting her hands up, like, you just can't talk to me any old way. And I'm like, well, you're correcting me, and I haven't been rude to you one bit. Like, are you kidding me? You guys have seen me on a roll. Like, I was being nice to that lady. Like, if she wanted to see what rudeness was, I could have happily displayed that for her. Good morning, M&M Racing. Nice to see you, love bug. Fair for everyone needs a day. That's beautiful. Thank you, Robert's girl. Me either. Have no couches. talked to her. I mean, you saw her. Actually, she did pretty good, even after the lady started turning around and started talking to her like that. I'm like, holy moly. I stepped back because I'm ready for Marissa to.
I don't understand why she doesn't like. I mean, you probably carrying a purse. You gotta have some fucking hand sanitizer, you know? You gotta have some. Like, I'm always seeing her just blowing her fucking nose and wiping her nose. It's gross, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know what I did when I was just off camera and my mic was muted? I fucking straight up blew my nose, wiped my nose, and fucking put on hand sanitizer. You know why I did it like that? Because I don't assume that you all want to see that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to watch me fucking blow my nose. You know? Like, I get it. It happens. You know? It's cold. Nose is running. I can't run my heater right now down here. It's cold down here. I can't run my heater down here because it's going to blow out a breaker and I don't want to have to run upstairs and then flip the breaker. So, and then I'm going to have to shut the damn thing off anyway. But like, why not just sanitize your hands, man? Like, if you're going to blow your nose, if you're going to subject us all to having to watch you blow your fucking nose, you know, and, you know, like, then at least, you know, because then she just starts touching her face. And it's just,
you know, that
fucking cochina, dude.
You got to remember, the last time I seen her upset was in front of Don Wells's house when BK was coming down. They were that freaking, I'm like, oh. So she's sitting there in line. I'm like, oh, I'm standing over here.
Oh.
I was like halfway to the door. Kay was coming down. They were that freaking, I'm like, oh. So she's sitting there in line. I'm like, oh. I'm like, oh. I'm like, oh. I'm like, oh.
I'm such a child.
So she's sitting there. I'm like, oh. So she's sitting there. She's sitting there in line. I'm like, oh, I'm standing over here. I was like halfway to the door.
Like, all you have to do is slow her down.
Sorry, guys. I'm gonna mute, but I gotta blow it.
Jesus Christ. Lady. Oh. No te da vergüenza.
My allergies are kicking here
Sin
in
vergüenza, dude.
Pennsylvania. Yesterday, the reason why I looked so tired is 'cause my eyes were burning. Like I was really having a major allergy attack yesterday. I had to go take some allergy medicine. My eyes were burning. The allergy. I'm not used to this cold weather. You'd think I would be. I've been living in the cold for the last 6 months. I'm an esthetician, laser technician, and 20-year-old said she did not get her license to sweat over laser hair removal.
Read.
Well, honey, when you have a full hairy back, you're gonna sweat. Yeah,
God,
no
man.
crap.
God damn it.
Yeah. But if you're an esthetician, I need some help here.
You think?
I'm starting to see my wrinkles. You know, look at that. I've never had those things before. There's little things there and there and there. Never
Oh my
thought
God.
I'd be one of those Botox people, but I'm actually entertaining Botox.
Oh my God.
I don't like aging. Up until YouTube, I was doing pretty good. After YouTube, this wrinkle that was only halfway across it was just right here, just a little one, has now crossed straight across, and I'm
Wow.
getting one
This is
right
riveting
there.
content, Betty.
We
Jesus.
need to do something about that.
This is, man.
Two-party consent
Your
states
supporters,
won't
man.
allow
Money
to
well
report
spent.
if anyone has expectation of privacy. Being the public doesn't give an expectation of privacy. Being in the public, yes, it does. If you're in the public, you do not. I'm telling you, I'm a professional. I've been doing this for years.
She's a
I know
professional.
the law, Barbara,
No, you
and that's
don't.
absolutely incorrect. If you are in a public place, you can record anything you want to, and I don't care if that means kids or not. It might offend people, but
Wow.
that's the law.
No.
Inside
not.
that store, the only reason why we're allowed to record is one, barista was the customer, and two,
No, that doesn't
there
give you the
was
right to record.
cameras inside that store. So if you can record me, I can record you.
I can't argue with that.
That's the law.
I can't argue with
You
that.
can't prevent somebody.
I don't know if
Now,
that's true, but it makes sense.
You have signs
But the
that
first
say
thing,
no
because she's a customer,
recording.
that doesn't mean shit.
Then they can't be recording you and telling you can't record them. It doesn't work that way. So again,
I
she
mean,
was
but
more
it's
than
not.
welcome
Here's
to
the
pick
thing,
up
though.
the phone and call law enforcement.
This is how how much they lack self-awareness, right? Because it's not the fact that you were recording. It's not that so much as why you were recording. You were recording in order to antagonize someone, and you were recording in order to be able to exploit that someone. Because the fact that you have had the videos of you filming these people up and monetized, that means that you exploited her for money without her consent after she asked you not to film her, and B, she asked you to leave upteenth times. So yeah, you're totally in the wrong. You're totally in the wrong.
Enforcement. I promise you, she probably wasn't going to do that because she was more in violation of the law than we were. So
no, she wasn't.
And I don't think she wanted to have that because
at the end of the
clearly
day,
she
it's
was
private
under the
property.
influence.
At the end of the day, at the end of all that, it's private property, and she reserves the right to refuse service to anyone that she wants to refuse service to. Anybody who's a proprietor or in charge, running a shift, whatever, they have that right. They have that right to say, you know what? Nope, not today. You need to leave. Why not? And that's what she tried to do. And they were refusing while sticking a camera in her face. I mean, they were clearly the aggressors here.
Something. Like clearly. You could see it in her eyes. You think Alex was planning to kill his wife and his son and walk into by walking? What? Hold on. What did you say, Lisa? Let me just read this. Do you think Alex was planning to kill his wife and son?
Everybody is freaking out about this, all right? This is called the ICE hack. Now, this has been on the news.
See what this is all about.
Oh, thank you, Dottie. That's so sweet. I love margarita pizza. I know, it's the best. And this one had the big chunks of the mozzarella and the nice sliced. Oh. And they had a good garlic sauce as the
Yeah, fucking more.
Where we were going and where we were gonna be before we even knew. Doesn't make sense, does it? And you guys know who I'm talking about if you guys watch them. I hope you guys don't watch her because she's a hate channel.
A hate channel.
And quite frankly, she was in prison for running drugs. And people are getting their information from a drug mule.
She's like,
great job, guys. Great job. I appreciate it and try to act like it was our fault. No. That was all her. She did this all to herself. You're talking to people, you're talking down to people that are trying to be nice to you and resolve a situation.
that's not what happened at all.
You are too
That's not what happened at all.
egotistical and too pompous to take a clue and realize that, hey, we just need some answers here. You're talking about
But she didn't have the answers and tried to tell you that.
Furniture.
And tried to direct you to where you could get
people are
the answers.
saying that you are the one that's going to be able to help us. And you're too busy talking about how nasty people have been to you. Well, it wasn't me, baby. I have not spoken to you. This is my first time, and quite
You
frankly,
called her
you're
a
being
ghetto
rude to
racist.
me.
What are you talking about? You called her a ghetto racist.
It's okay for you to be rude to somebody by and telling them that you don't want them to be rude to you. Like, you are a fucking idiot. Excuse my language.
Excuse my language. Moron. Oh my God. Really? Dude.
That is a lie.
Cochina,
that is an absolute lie. Let's not. We'll call her QB. Don't ever use her name in this chat.
Obnoxious.
She doesn't deserve the plug. That is a lie. She is a grifter. Because here is where she pettily swindles her own audience. How can she call a store while we're there when we had no clue we were going
there? What is she talking about?
We had no idea we were going to be in that store that day.
That's the biggest
That
crock of shit.
literally happened 15 minutes before
I call total
we
bullshit
showed
on that.
up to the store. She is a liar.
I guarantee you guys were like,
Those
we're going down there.
people never answered the phone. Go back and watch the video.
We did.
Nobody answered the phone the entire time we were at that store.
That's because you
Go
guys.
back and watch.
It's because she was busy arguing with you.
She's a liar. And you know what? You guys can tell her that. She's a drug mule.
What?
Okay? She is a criminal.
Dude.
I don't
Betty,
listen to criminals.
I know you're not up
nor
here
do
talking
I
about people
believe
being criminals, dude. I know you're not up here talking about people
She's a
being criminals.
nasty, nasty woman that lies to her audience for clout.
I guess she's not talking about Bastia. I don't know who she's talking about.
She's too busy trying to say that we're doing what she's doing.
I thought
Are you
so.
sick of having issues with your webinars?
I
wasting
thought so.
tons of time on troubleshooting with attendees? If so,
I mean, yeah. Listen, and I'm going to be honest. And I've said this before too. Like if you're new to YouTube, right? If you're new to YouTube, and you don't want to get caught up in a bunch of bullshit, stay the fuck away from large panels. Stay the fuck away from open panels where there's like fucking 5-6 people up on the panel. Like that's just, you're just asking for drama and bullshit. It's ridiculous. It's like a Springer show, you know? So yeah, it's not, it's not a good idea. And there's no way to know that, you know, unless you know what I mean? There's no way to know that. You know, so just sound advice. Stay away from channels that do that. Yeah, I can't do that shit, dude. Like, I can't. I can't fuck with channels that do that, really, you know? Like, I used to, like, sometimes just for fun, like, I would get drunk and I'd troll one, you know what I mean? Like, why not? But now I can't, yeah. Like, after everything with the Kylie Rodney thing and the Cuck Church stuff, and after all that, like, it was like, all right, I'm not doing that shit anymore. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Like, it's just super stupid. And I know, like, Cuck Church is going through, like, something right now, man. I feel bad for him. I do. Like, from what it looks like his family was, like, ripping him off or something like that. I feel kind of bad for him, man. Like, heavy lies the crown, you know what I mean? Like, he's the provider in the family, it seems like, and then fucking people took advantage. And you know, I don't particularly care for the dude too much, but I don't think he deserves that. That's a hell of a betrayal right there, man. If that happened to him, if that's actually true, I feel fucking bad for him, like legit. But I mean, you know, yeah. See, the thing is some might be saying, well, look at the, you know, the lies he told and the Kylie Rodney thing, blah, blah, blah. It's karma. See, the punishment don't fit the crime. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, what he did was fucked up, but comparing that to your family, like the people that are supposed to be the closest to you, the most trustworthy, the people that you're already taking care of, and then they fucking rip you off, you know, like that's fucked up. I don't think the punishment fits the crime, you know? That's just me, though. You might disagree. But, yeah, I feel bad. Y'all still timing out Vince Ibarra. I love it. I mean, I don't know why he keeps hanging around, you know? But whatever, man. Whatever. If that's what you get out of this channel, dude, right on. Right on. Enjoy. I'm glad I could help. Well, I mean, a lot of families do that. I mean, but it doesn't make it okay. I mean, it's not, it doesn't make it any less fucked up just because a lot of families probably do that.
I gotta work in this freezing cold weather in PA.
You're not working.
I'm telling you, yesterday I was freezing. I was not prepared for yesterday's weather. I can tell you that. It went straight through my jeans. I'm like, Marissa, get me in this car. Get me in this car. Like, shit. I'm freezing.
Okay. Okay.
Register. I own it. You don't like it? Change the channel.
What?
This is the Bullhorn Betty channel. Okay?
The
we say it
Bullhorn
like
Betty
it
channel.
is. We offend a lot of people. And yes, I'm a little controversial.
You're not controversial.
Can't
You're just an
handle
idiot.
it. Probably not the best
You're
place
not
for you to I'm saying that, right?
controversial means that you cause controversy, which means that there are people with opinions that make sense and they butt heads. That's controversy. You don't stir up controversy because you're never right. You're always wrong about everything. You don't have the advantage of making any sense when you talk about things to where you get to say that you're controversial. You don't have the ingredients. You're not controversial. You're just wrong all the time.
New York and Newark, you know, very well, but whatever. And so I went there, and so I sat and had a drink while I prepared a video, which didn't get uploaded until last night because of the internet issues that we have. I'm not paying for plain
She's always saying that she
internet.
doesn't drink and then says that she has a drink.
Because I only had one video, literally one video to look up, and I was sleeping on the plane. I kept feeling my head going. The people sitting next to me were probably like, wow, this chick can sleep. And I thought it was just the cold, but
Jesus
into
Christ.
the damn store. The only break of the recording was when the lady wasn't even talking or looking at us. And Marissa turned the camera off, and she turned it on before I even started talking. So Fascia, what portion of the video isn't right? Is it because the one that you were talking into
No, see, I don't know. I don't know if the video is edited or not. I can't tell. But what I do know is that in my experience of going over Karen videos, I know that something took place. There's always something that takes place that makes somebody pull out their phone and start filming. There's always something, right? Oh shit. Yeah, that is a great pause. Guys, get your screenshots in. Get some screenshots in. Drink it in, folks. Pause game on point.
Auditory, which was my camera, which we found out was off. Was it the one that you saw? At the end of the day, girl, you don't need to have that job. That job is you are way below that job. And you can clip this clip channel because I don't care. Let me say that again. I don't care.
Oh.
You do not talk to people like that spend thousands of dollars and then try to justify it after you lose your shit.
Look who's still talking about it.
And again,
this was this morning.
Had I acted the way that lady behind the counter.
JB, thank you so much. Let's watch the time you trolled Betty for Vince.
Acted the same people that are trying to say, oh, I can't believe she's like, she didn't care about losing her job when she was effing this and GD and how she hates her job.
No, she wasn't.
Right there on camera. No.
Screenshots ready, folks. The thing about that is, when you get to that point, it's naive to think that the person who's finally just getting to the point to where they're just done really gives a fuck about losing their job at that moment. I'm not saying overall that I can't speak for her, but at that moment, I know she hit fuck it. You know what I mean? And I get it. And the point isn't whether or not she hit fuck it or not. The point is whether or not she was justified in hitting fuck it. And I think she was absolutely justified in hitting fuck it. So because of that, I don't think that she merits losing her job. You know what I mean? But if she does, she's not in the wrong. Like I said, I'm happy to be supportive as much as I can for whatever happens, because we saw the evidence and we know these people. We know what they do.
Knowing she was being recorded. You read what you sow.
Wow. Yeah. Keep that in mind, Betty. Keep that in mind. Just saying. The more popular you get.
Bad. I did find.
All right, shut up. I'm done with you. Betty doesn't seem to understand, and MGL doesn't seem to understand. The more popular they get, the more attention's going to be drawn on what they're doing, and it's not going to turn out good. It's not. The publicity that they're going to get is going to be very negative, and somebody's going to end up taking action, and somebody's going to end up making an example of them within the boundaries of the law, hopefully. But somebody's going to end up doing so. I have no doubt in my mind. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, folks. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. We will do this again very soon, my friends.